Bottom right side, Blue Protoss representing Alpha X. It's our boy, Max Astrea. Power.
The top left, the red Terran. His name is Maru. Fighting for Team NV, and of course, he is recently gone through his shoulder treatments, recovering, getting back into form, and Maru, he's doing Maru things, and he's going for a Game 1 proxy, and I feel like he is the only player who has the confidence and the gall to go for a proxy in Game 1.
Alright, yeah, immediately getting us on the edge of our seat. What's going on with... Okay, no, there is sound. Just no game music,
no music
at the moment. Yeah, that's the problem. But anyway, Astrea, let's see how he is opening up here. All very standard so far. He's not gone out with the scout just quite yet. There he goes. Off he goes right now. Now, will he make a couple of detours? Already making a couple, so that's a good sign, right? Will he see the right place, though?
Yeah, this is a very, very interesting proxy location, because I don't think you see it from that mineral patch, which is usually where people go to try and scout things out. But Maru got the gas, so this should just be Marines, I believe. I don't think that this is going to be anything like Marauders or Reapers, but just going to be Marines. Just going to try and get a bit of pressure down onto that Nexus, and I don't know. I mean, it's definitely a Maru thing to do, but I don't know if this necessarily is going to kill the Nexus for sure.
Well, we need to get the bunker down, right? If he gets the bunker down, then all bets are off. I think Astrea could be in a lot of trouble.
I mean, he might actually get the bunker, because I don't know if Astrea expects this TVZ kind of a rush.
Hey.
He's got to pull the probes.
He's there. He did see that there's no barracks at the main base of Maru, so he came down to check. Immediately spots the bunker. Puts down a pylon so he can try to get some shield battery as well. Trying to combat the bunker here. Needs to get both of those SCVs. That's very important right here. He is struggling to do so. Does get one. Now just needs to get the other one. Losing a lot of probes already. He does not get it.
Yeah, this is really bad. I mean, thing is, like, for Maru, unlike drones, probes do not out-micro Marines. They are not quicker than them, so he couldn't get this round on the Marines, and now, yeah, that's Maru just gets it up. GG. This is first. GG.
Oof, Maru, man, ruthless. Ruthless. He's just like, you know what, he showed no emotion during that either. He doesn't care. He's just like, you know, just another day. Guess we'll just do this. Doesn't matter much, does
like,
it?
Probably like, I didn't prepare too much. All right, what did I do? Cheese. Okay.
All right. Well, Astrea, he's just barely, man. That one SCV, if he did manage to get that other SCV as well, that becomes a playable thing, right? You might be able to get your Stalker up. The shield battery still kind of fails, unfortunately, but yeah. Rough start. Anyway, Astrea is going to try again here with another match. And if Alpha X wants to force out an ace match, that is one that he has to win. Otherwise, Team NV will take the victory here. But to be fair, Team NV, one of these stronger teams, Alpha X, being able to take them to a point where an ace match is not too far out of the question. Already very impressive for Alpha X here, I would say.
I think absolutely this has been already just a really, really good showing from them. They've been able to get some really good wins here, and even getting it this far, even if it does end up in a 4-2, that's going to be great for their standings, for the statistics, but we'll have to see how it all comes down in this next game, because Astrea, well, he's going to need to pull out something. Obviously, you know, we didn't get to see too much about how his form is, like how good he looks, because, again, Maru just cheesed him, and that's a Maru thing to do. Maru, he just doesn't care. Like, I think he is one of the most ballsy players you will ever meet. Maybe SOS beats him, but he just does that stuff. He's that confident in his play, and now heading to game 2, I wouldn't even be surprised if he cheeses again.
Yeah, I me neither, honestly. It's going to be Death Aura. We don't know, do we? It's Maru. Yeah, it's just a box of randomness. I like the Alpha X logo behind Astrea. It's just the A. It looks like it says Astrea now instead of Alpha X, right? Astrea.
It's just
Ah.
Yeah.
It's Astrea.
There we go. Team As yeah, also the Team Envy is cut out, so it's just Team.
Team spread the
Maru.
Spread the Maru. That is their team slogan, isn't it? Spreading that Maru everywhere.
Absolutely. But yeah, going on to Death Aura, this definitely could be interesting. Death Aura, I think a lot of players favor Widowmine drops on this map. And Maru, well, he also likes his Widowmine drops. So we might just see that non-stop pressure, non-stop attacks to try and catch the opponent off guard. I mean, I really don't know. It's so hard to call. Like, in a best-of-2 format, like, I feel like Maru and SOS both being on the same team it's just the book of anything. You open that up, and there could be any build written down in there, and they will do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to have no difficulties either. We're already here now. It looks like the blue Protoss in the bottom right side is Alpha Axis and Astrea.
We have sound. We have music. Ah, thank God.
Lovely.
In the top left, it's your red Terran, already going up 1-0, getting his team onto match point. It is Maru.
Making us all sweat a little bit here in the Alpha X channel. Let's see.
Although he is not cheesing, but he is going for a gas first, which can already tell you what this build is going to be, I think.
Which is already making me sweat.
I've seen other players pull this off. I cast a series of Showtime versus Bunny, which is on the Alpha X channel, and in that I saw this exact same opener, which is indeed for a cloaked Widowmine drop. This is where you get the early armory, and you go for 3 Widowmines across the map. And if your opponent doesn't have detection, well, it does a whole lot of damage. So I think Maru is going to go for that. And as I said, on this map, Widowmines are so good because there's so much dead air. There's so much room where you can move your medevac around that your opponent can't scout. So it ends up being a very, very potent tool for the Terran to get some damage early on.
All right, well, let's see if that is going to be the case here. We have the engineering bay. I mean, if it were to be the case, I would believe that, well, it comes down, does Astrea go for Blink or Phoenix or something like that? And then how does he control them? Does he see that type of stuff coming in? Is that factory now?
A Stargate opener does actually counter this fairly well, just because you can get the Oracle out, and Oracles, with the changes to Revelation, of course, it's very, very cheap. Of course, it's a smaller radius, but they can just easily clear up all of the Widowmines with that. So if this is a Stargate opening from Astrea, I think that puts them in a great position. A Blink opener, not so much, because you're going for so much tech. You don't really go for the Observer with that build unless you are trying to get very, very aggressive with it.
Yeah. The natural base for Astrea here being taken in an unnatural location as well. Because of that engineering bay block, he decided to just put it down in the third base location. And that as well makes it more difficult for Astrea to hold here. Because, well, if he puts his units in the wrong place, they have a long distance to walk. Or he puts them in the middle, and he'll always have a long distance to walk, right? Before he can respond to Widowmines or something like that.
And it looks like we're going to see 2 Hellions first made here for Maru. So we'll still have to see if he's going for the Widowmine drop. With the reactor on the factory, I think usually you might see like someone going for 4 Widowmines or so. But no, it looks like it's just going to be Hellions actually. So went for the gas first to get up his tech a bit faster. So it means he delays his CC. He delays that just by a tiny, tiny bit. But instead he's going to get his tech up faster. And okay, never mind. It's going to be Widowmine drop. Maru. A bit indecisive, but does actually end up grabbing that. So we are going to be seeing the Widowmine drop. Doesn't look like any cloak tech as he's used all of his gas and then to get up the early starport.
Yeah, a bit of a combination of both here. I do always like going for those Hellions first because they just a lot better at getting the scouting information. He went with 4 though. I'm not sure if that's the amounts that I would go for personally, but then again, this is Maru, so what the hell do I know? Right, if there is a Stargate coming in from Astrea and suddenly an Oracle shows up, I like to have a couple of Widowmines a little bit earlier on, but with this, the 4 Hellions a lot more deadly if you manage to run them into the third base location. Remember, there's 2 entries into that base as well. It's just not just one, as you have with the... Okay, he did make a nice little wall here, Astrea. Oh.
Yeah.
What happens to... Did he actually make 4, or did I just imagine that?
He only made 2. He
only
actually
made 2?
canceled them.
He canceled them.
Yeah,
Right.
he canceled them because he realized, I think, that he wanted to go for that 4 Widowmine drop.
Okay.
Speaking of which, is going straight into the main. There are stalkers here, but they're not going to be able to shoot down the medevac. Widowmine's all burrow. Nice pull. Oh, almost a massive hit, but it does get pulled away. Only 3 workers going down. The medevac in a good position to get out here. Will get sniped. Astrea holds very, very well.
Yeah, and without an armory, those Widowmines kind of dead right now. Unless if they manage to reset.
Or just run away.
Or just run away, yeah. Look at that.
Gonna waddle on out of there, little
zone,
spiders.
Though. Come on, Stalkers, they might be able to catch up now. No, they're going different ways.
I think, honestly, I still think that the Cloaked Widowmine drop might have actually done a bit more damage. But did Maru just kill some unit there?
No, I think it was the Zealot there. Astrea ran across the map. The Zealot he made because to get rid of the engineering bay, I believe. That's not really useful anymore.
Yeah. Okay. It just sounded like a Marine scream, and I was like, what? But no. So Maru, he's just gonna be getting up his 3rd CC, as I was saying. I feel like the Cloaked Widowmine drop could have actually done a lot more damage there, just because Astrea didn't have any detection, but he wanted to macro up. He wanted to have that 2nd base up sooner rather than later. So he just opts for the 4 Widowmine drop without it. And behind this, he's just macroing up. He's getting up his 3 barracks. He's getting up his double upgrades. And he's going to eventually be going into Widowmines, medevacs, stim, and combat shields. Excuse me, alongside of his Marine Marauder.
Yep. Astrea is still a little bit more unclear where he is going to be taking this. Can still take it into account. Oh, a pause as well. Lag. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Astrea having a bit of lag, which, can happen because they are having to play on different servers here.
Yep.
Alternating, I believe. They're probably on US West, if I'm not wrong.
They could have started the first game on that one as well, right? And then now they're on Korean or something like that. Server?
Yeah. So obviously there will be a little bit of lag because they are playing from a bit of ways away from each other. But it looks like Astrea is good to go. Figured it out, and now we're going to be heading right back into the action. And as it is, Astrea's getting up his 3rd base. He's going for Blink, but aside from that, it looks like it's just going to be a gateway-focused army. He's getting up the Twilight Council, and Maru's just going straight bio, so this is as standard of a game as you get.
Yeah, we'll have to have a bit of auto turret harassment. Getting 3 probes, not bad. Astrea coming in to deal with it right now. But of course, it just times out. We'll put a couple of Stalkers there in case it does come back for round 2, and it looks like that was its attempt. I think that's flying in again. Well, anyway, Astrea with a War Prism on the other side as well.
Try and see what damage he can get done as he starts up his Storm, and it's +1, getting Immortals, but oh wow, Maru is absolutely ready for that. I don't think I've ever seen a player with more stuff in their main base than Maru right there. As he has a Viking, there needs to be a recall here, or no, it looks like the War Prism will just go down.
Oh, that is rough. That is rough. Not really looking out for that War Prism right there. Astrea shaking his head a little bit as well. Getting the Storm upgrade for the time being. I hope that is going to be enough here. We don't see a Ghost Academy just quite yet. It is quite heavy onto the Marine numbers here for Maru. But there's the scan, and he sees those High Templar. So he's going to be able to decide already. Am I going to try to take that fight, or am I just going to try to make some tech available for myself to try and counteract those High Templar here?
Maru should be able to recognize, though, that Storm should just now be finishing up around this timing. Of course, he does know that very well. And Astrea actually was trying to move his High Templar around there to see if he could get some preemptive storms if the army had stopped moving. But Maru's moving around the map. He's making sure to be very, very active. And he's also, oh my god, a Widowmine drop into the main gets 7 workers. He's also denying the 4th. And just out of nowhere, Maru finding a bit of damage here, doing very, very well, causing Astrea to have to back up everything. And gonna be able to siege up all these buildings on the edge of the main base.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff going down here. Maru really putting the hurt onto Astrea. He still has somewhat of an economy going for himself, but his army supply just does not seem to match up with what Maru has on the map. And things are going from bad to worse as Maru now with a heavy Marauder force coming in. They are going to be quite a lot better against those High Templar Storms as well. Now he's just coming in forwards, claiming more ground in the main base. FireBird, you still see any chance here for Astrea? I mean, it's looking rough.
I don't know. You need the best storms in the world right now to try and clean this up, and he does get the army out of the main base, but he's losing gateways, and you can see, you know, just the amount of money that's starting to bank up here for Astrea. It's a good storm off, but the High Templar is picked off at the third base, and Maru, I mean, he just has so much here. His macro has absolutely hit its stride, and don't really see what Astrea could do. I mean, soon Ghosts will be coming up, and Maru's just in a great spot right now.
Yeah, this really is feeling like just two players on different leagues, isn't it? That is just what's happening right now. Another Widow Mine does come in. He tries to storm, kills one of his own probes there. Oof. Maru just containing Astrea. Astrea, he's still trying his best, but I mean, looking at what's happening on the map, Astrea is not really managing to get himself into Disruptors or Colossi, anything else that can start to combat those Marauders and the Ghosts that are coming in right now. I guess Colossi also not that great against Marauders, but
what's even really crazy is that, you know, of course we knew Maru was pushing out, but he's just so quick with everything. I didn't even see the fact that he had loaded up a medevac into the main with Widow Mines. You didn't see that the fact that he moved a Widow Mine to the fourth. He's just doing everything so well. He's getting up Ghosts. He has a fourth base already up, and he's maxed out. Astrea is floating so many minerals because he hasn't rebuilt his gateways. He hasn't rebuilt those tech structures that he needs to build his army, and it just means that he just does not have enough.
Yeah. That is just the entire story, kind of, the Astrea versus Maru game number 2. Astrea just does not have enough. Oh, those Widow Mines, needs to get rid of them. Okay, one shot does still connect. It's holding on still. I'm surprised Maru isn't just pushing into that fourth base. Does he just not know about the fourth base? I wonder.
It probably doesn't, as Astrea going to try and clean up the medevacs, does get a few, but he's just going to keep bleeding out units. This one tank getting so much value. Yeah. The positioning from Maru is so good, just has units in position. Will manage to clean up that army on the left side, actually, but again, Astrea is floating 2,000 minerals just because he hasn't rebuilt his gateways. He doesn't have enough, and now you're starting to see workers go down to a Widow Mine drop once again. Maru is just, I mean, he's just containing Astrea beautifully.
I like this from Astrea, though. He's adding in a Dark Shrine. It's not too far away from him on the attack path. He's going to try to make something happen with that. And, I mean, it does feel kind of like a desperate attempt, but at this moment in time, that's all you kind of have. He's going to have to do a whole lot. Does he use them offensively? Oh, no.
Yeah, and, I mean, this just really shows, I think Maru, you know, as of recently, with how good he's been able to look, with how much he's recovered, the difference in skill. Maru just absolutely controls every part of it. GG is called, and that is going to be the win for Team Envy 4-2. Astrea didn't pull it out against the reinvigorated Maru.